Hey guys, welcome to Amelia Peace Crafting Adventures. Guess what? Guess what? We're not going to do a craft today, but I'm going to show you some things I've been working on. Truth be told, I just wasn't feeling so good this week. Look at this, I got little hair nubbies. Is that better? So, I want to show you some things, and we'll talk about it in just a second. I'll see you in a minute. So when I'm not feeling well, I just want to do quiet little projects. It's not that I'm not doing anything, because I'm always doing something. One of the things I did is I bought a new sofa, because my other sofa was just awful. It's a little big, but it's so comfortable. I don't care that it's a little big. It's kind of big. I don't know. I'll take a picture and show you later, and try to put it up in here somewhere. But I've been working on things. So I don't know if y'all remember, I bought that beautiful paper and I was flipping through it and I saw a piece and I said, I know what I'm going to do with that. Well, I had this inspiration to do something Japanese inspired. But the way it goes is that I have the idea and then I'm like, okay, I guess the next thing I need to do is learn how to do origami. Because, right, gotta learn how to do origami. It's just how my brain works. So I learned how to do these little origami dolls, right? And I thought, aren't they beautiful? They'll be so fun. They'll look so good on that particular paper, right? So I made the little origami dolls. And then I got out my beautiful paper, and I put the little origami dolls on it. I thought, well, I need to learn how to do little origami butterflies. So I made these three-dimensional, they come up off the paper a little bit. I thought, won't these be pretty for a journal cover? So I made the little origami gals, and I embellished them with these glass beads, and I made the little origami butterflies, and then I made their little antenna with glass beads. So these are going to be journal covers, and I made a whole bunch. I can't decide how I'm going to bind all these yet because that's a whole nother story. Here's this one. Yeah. Do you see the glass beads? A little fidgety, but I got her done. So then, so I worked on these, and I've been cutting the paper to make the journal. I had bought these, hold on one second. So sorry. I bought these round clasps. I want to show you because I just thought they'd be so pretty as a way to bind these journals when I'm done making. This color may not go well. But the hole puncher I have makes too many holes. So I didn't want to do that. I will definitely be using these for something else. So I think I'm going to hand sew them. I'm going to hand bind this. That is what I'm going to do when I make those journals. And then I was busy, and I don't want to just make a journal with a journal cover, right? It's just not how my brain goes. It always goes into something else. So I made the origami envelopes, and I put origami paper in them, and those will also go in the journals. This was very simple, and we can do a little origami, kind of like our Valentine's puzzle purse thing we did. We can learn a little bit of origami. And then this is the thing that got me in trouble. I will be putting a tassel on this to go in that journal, was the cherry blossoms. And one of the things I like to do when I'm not particularly feeling all that well is to draw and to watercolor. So I made these little bookmarks to go in the journal. Well, then I was like, okay, if I'm going to do cherry blossoms, right? I have a whole stack of things over here I want to show you. I started doing this thing where I was going to make the little greeting cards. And that's a whole nother thing. So what I did is I made these little cherry blossom bookmarks to go into this journal. So what it'll be is, in the journal, and I'll be doing some other things too, is that you'll have inside of it an origami envelope with the origami paper and the bookmark with the cherry blossoms, and this will have a tassel on it. Where's this? So the idea of the journal is it will be something like this. Now imagine this, a little book journal, which again I'll hand sew, and then there'll be just Japanese inspired treats inside, right? And I just was an idea I had, and I'm actually quite pretty happy with it. I think it turned out really nice, and I think the origami papers are beautiful, and so that's the idea. So what happened was I did the bookmark, and I put this beautiful gold paper on it, and like I said, it'll have a tassel. Cherry blossoms. Well, I really like cherry blossoms. So I thought, well, why don't I just do a series of note cards? So I have these cardstock sheets that are just made for note cards, right? And they come with envelopes. And these were actually a mistake that I ordered, because what I wanted was the ones that open. And then I was like, that's okay. I've made mistakes, and it works out. Now, well, what I'll do is I'll take some of the little origami ladies, put them on a card, embellish it somehow. I'm not sure. Maybe I can put a piece of origami paper behind her somehow, or just a strip of it, and then we'll have the little origami lady note card, which I think would be really lovely to receive. But then I'm like, well, why don't I do a whole series of the cherry blossoms to go with it? So now this I would cut into a circle, and then again place this on the card with some embellishment behind it, or not. Sometimes less is more. So I had the little cherry blossom tree that I painted, and I painted a number of them. And I thought, well, let's continue with the cherry blossom, right? So then I thought, well, let's do, after the tree, a close-up of one of the branches. Just one of the branches, and I painted the background green, see? So we have the tree, and then we have the close-up of one of the branches. And I thought, well, then let's get even closer. Right? So I'll cut the circles out, and there's a real close-up, and then the branch. I'm going to drop on my tea. And then the tree. And then, of course, let's get even closer. So it's just this whole series of cherry blossoms. And then I thought, well, maybe we can do... I'm not sure how I feel about the bird on this one. I like it. I just think I can do better, so I'll probably work on that a little bit. And I erased a little bit of my pencil marking, and it really smudged it. So, I mean, this one we won't obviously use. But I think that the idea is okay. And then I have to move this because, excuse me just a second, I have little cherry blossoms everywhere. I started working on these, and I do have to finish painting these, and I think that's going to be what I'll do today. So I'm working on more cherry blossoms, right? And I thought, I don't like this one. I'm not happy with it. But I particularly like this one, and I think these are really pretty. So I'm going to do a whole series of note cards with my lovely Japanese lady, origami lady, and my cherry blossoms. So I was really happy, and that was quiet work for me to do when I wasn't feeling so good. So was very happy to do that. So all right, so that's my Japanese experience for now. So really, what I have to do is for the journals is just put everything together and bind it with thread, and cut the paper. I bought some beautiful paper to go in it too, just here and there, and I'll probably want to do some other Japanese inspired embellishments in there. Probably won't add a piece of raw sushi or anything like that, but I do have some ideas, and I'd like to keep them for a surprise. And those will be something at some point I'll be doing on the Withering Cottage Tuesday night live sale. But there's a lot of work. I mean, I've been working on it for days, but it's been good because I haven't been feeling well. So then I said, let's do some more watercolors. And let's make some cards that are just for spring. So I did a series of these. Then when you open it up, there's a little bee flying to the flower. I thought about, here's my conundrum. I think about putting words on here. But at the same time, I want them to be so, I don't know the right word. I want whoever purchases them to be able to use them however they want to use it. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas. Well, congratulations. So I don't really want to put words on it, but it's just a little springtime card series I've been working on. I have this one, and then I have, okay, this one. Remember I had done my Sizzix with my embossing, and I said I have some ideas of how I want to use that. So this is my embossed piece of paper, and then I took some ink and just ran over it a little bit, and then I put another piece of the embossing here, and then I watercolored a little flower, and then when you open this one, it's just different plants. So I did a series of that one. And then, same thing. This one I just used my watercolor paper. I watercolored a little very simple bee and did a border around it. And then when you open it up, oh, I got a little glue there. Okay, well, I can fix that. It was a little 3D flower that opened. But I might not be able to use this one. But that's okay, because we learn. Or, yeah, I might not be able to use this one because of this smudge. I don't know, those smudges show up. I didn't see it when I was working on it. Those are some of the things I've been working on. But other than that, I got the new sofa, and I ordered it, and it's really big, but it's so comfortable. I'm not sure I care that it's too big. And but when it came here, it came in these boxes, and they brought them in, and they had the boxes standing up this way instead of like a sofa being this way. So I had to get these out of the boxes, and it wasn't that kind of cardboard you could just, and I didn't want to use a blade on it because I was afraid I would rip the upholstery. I mean, this thing is, so it took me, a couple of hours to get the sofa out of these boxes. Now, I ordered this from a furniture store, so it was very weird. And then you had to assemble it, but it wasn't like you were, knitting and crocheting a sofa. I just had to put the legs on the bottom, and that was okay. That was easy, but to get them out of the boxes was not easy, and so it took quite a while, and then the biggest and the hardest part was getting these big, gigantic boxes out my front door. So, like I said, it's not the kind of cardboard you can just rip into pieces. It was super thick. I thought, boy, that'd be perfect for a little kid's playhouse, right? So that, getting that out the front door was a challenge. I think I, I hurt something back there. My back muscle. The, yeah, yeah. So, but I'm so excited. I'm trying to think if I've ever had a brand new sofa in my life. And now I do. And it's big and it's comfortable. And I may have to think of some different ways to rearrange things again, but I'm okay with it. It's just really big. But it's not like it's one of them those sectionals with a lounge, a chaise lounge. Here, tell you what. Let's go take a quick look. Now I'm in the process of organizing things, and as you can see, behind it, there's a sofa on its side, which one of our aides is going to come and get, and then I'm obviously going to have to do something with my coffee table, my sandals. It's a mess, but that's the sofa. I don't know if you can appreciate the size of it. It's sizely, but I'm so happy. Yeah, I got to get all that cleaned up, and then I still haven't cleaned up Amelia B's. They've been having a makeout session for a long time. I don't know if you all saw the little Valentine's video, but I was pleased with it. Again, I don't think it was my best work, but I got my point across what I wanted to. So I've just been organizing, and so let's talk about a little bit about what's going on. So quite a few months ago, I wasn't feeling so good, and I don't run to the doctors or the emergency room or anything like that just because I think, it's going to go away or whatever. And I went to the doctor and to the urgent care, and he immediately sent me to the emergency room. And I was having a hard time breathing, and it was painful. And they died at the emergency room. They diagnosed me with a kidney infection, and I was like, I don't have a kidney infection. I'm just telling you, I don't have a kidney infection. I can't breathe, and it hurts. Or I could breathe, otherwise I wouldn't be able to talk to them. I said, it's just hard to breathe, and it hurts when I breathe. No, you have a kidney infection, and I don't have a kidney infection. I don't have a kidney infection, and which was fine, right? What are you going to do? And then I was just really frustrated, and I'm a pretty calm, cool person. And finally, it was taking them forever, and I just went in the hallway, and I just kind of said in a very loud voice, I need to go home now. I want to go home now. And they got my papers, prescribed an antibiotic, which, okay, I figured, I know I don't have a kidney infection, I'll take the antibiotic. I didn't have a follow-up appointment with my primary care physician for 2 weeks, and I took the antibiotic. It wasn't doing anything to help me. My breathing was still really hard, and it was extremely painful. And I'd get these really incredibly sharp shooting pains, and it was just very painful, and it would last for like a minute, and then it would go away, and okay, that's fine. So I finally get to my doctor's, and he's reviewing all the test results, and I'm like, I'm frustrated. I don't have a kidney infection. I'm just having a hard time breathing. My blood oxygen level's kind of low, and I just and he's looking at the, I don't know, ultrasound that they did, and he can actually see that one of my lungs was quite inflamed, and they never even mentioned it because it wasn't really supposed to be a scan of my lungs. I think they were looking, I don't know what they were looking for. So he did a diagnosis, and he went through all these things, and it turned out that I had the pleurisy, which, okay, now we know. So he put me on a round of steroids, and I felt better within, I don't know, 3-4 days, which was such a blessing, and it was like, thank God,
But then I got pleurisy again. So then I had to go have another test, and it showed that I do have these nodules on my lungs, but they're tiny, and we're just going to do a check on those in 6 months and make sure they haven't grown, or anything. And if they have, we'll deal with that then. But then I got pleurisy again. And then my doctor sent me to not a cardiologist, I'm so sorry, a pulmonologist. And, it's just exhausting. So I'm with the pulmonologist, and he says, I think you have rheumatoid arthritis. And I started laughing. I think you all know my personality well enough to know that, I mean, it was really funny to me. Yeah, I'm like, you're not a rheumatologist. You're a lung doctor. What? He goes, no, 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 no. Rheumatoid arthritis and pleurisy go together. Uh, okay. So they run all these tests. And I don't have rheumatoid arthritis, which was a win. Perfect thing. Um, but I did test uh, positive for these other tests that say that you have some kind of, autoimmune disease. Um, I think he was leaning a little bit towards lupus. I'm older, right? So if I have lupus, I've probably had lupus for quite a few years. I'm good, and maybe now they have a magic whatever pill that will start to make me feel better, right? I'm good with it. It's all right. But then they also diagnosed me with emphysema and COPD, but I'm okay with that too because I don't have many symptoms of it, but I just want to feel better, right? I have a lot going on, and it's almost gardening season, and I want to. So it's like you go in for a paper cut, and you come out, and then they find all this other stuff, and I think partially it's because of my age, um, and things like that. But it's exasperating. But I've been tired, right? But I'm I'm still wanting to create all the things, and I will continue. Um, I mean, to me, and I also wanted to tell you guys about this. I consider myself an artist, and that entails a lot of things. It's crafting, right? It's painting, it's paper, glue, scissors, all of the things. But I also consider gardening an art. And I consider when I make my soaps an art form. And when I make my, lip balms and my ointments and that kind of stuff, that's an art form. Gardening is absolutely an art form. And we'll talk more about that. Because I keep thinking, it's just about time for me to start my seeds, right? And I debate whether that's something I should share with you guys on a video. Like, this is how I do it, because some of you may not know, but then that's to me it's an art form, but to you it might just be gardening, right? And that might not be something you're interested in. But a lot of the things I do, I consider it all encompassed into this bubble thing that I live in. When I make bread, when I make my infused olive oils, when I dry my herbs, when I um, even when I make my tomato sauce from scratch, right? It's all an art form, and I'm just not sure, if maybe we'll expand a little bit. But I'd like to hear your opinion in the comments if you think that that's just too much. Because then I think it turns into more of a daily bloggy kind of thing. But the thing with me is you have to know is that these kind of things are a daily thing in my life. Because I can make tomato sauce, make an origami girl, and plant a garden, all in a day. So I also thought that I'm trying to think how I want to. I just want to take the pressure off myself a little bit. And when whoever is doing these things, especially the artists, when you want something to be organically creative, right? You're sitting there and you're thinking, what am I going to do on the next one? What am I going to do on the next one? Because I always want to make it special and interesting for you. And I have 1,000 ideas, right? But then it goes into the other things we were just discussing. And so I don't know. I mean, it's just something we can talk about. Amelia B's crafting, adventures, and other stuff. Maybe. I don't know. But it's just something for us all to think about. Obviously, I've got a million crafts going on. I'm wanting to show you how to make these. I am wanting to show you a lot of stuff. Oh, another thing. I use my fancy machine. I practice. It's terrible. I'm so disappointed on how it turned out. And it's going to take practice to get it better. But you know, these supplies were not cheap. So I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm going to work on this, because this was with that that bookbinding machine thing. But I just was unhappy, and then I decided to wait and try again in a week or so when I got over how disappointing this was. Yeah, it just turned out terribly. I mean, I didn't just play it by ear. I read the directions and everything, but it was really quite disappointing. Some of the, like, you can see it's crooked and stuff, and that's not something I can make and sell. That's just not a thing that I'd be willing to sell. It's just a mess. Like the card we just talked about with the little smudge, I would never accept money for that, ever in a million years. When I make things, I want them to be, something I'm proud of. This little smudge right here, I'm wondering if that actually looks like it's a flaw in the paper. But I don't know. But these are all watercolored, by the way. All of these were hand watercolored. But those were just some things I wanted to talk about. I feel really good today. I felt like quite an achievement. It was quite an achievement yesterday to get that sofa out of the box and get those boxes out the door. Now we just have to get those huge, gigantic boxes out from in front of my house. I'm trying. I made tacos for Valentine's Day. That's always good, right? And I've been purchasing some things so I can make some special Easter things, and going through what I have and all the things. I don't know if you guys watched the last Withering Cottage, but Ariana had the ephemera packages from Rachel at the Rusty Snail, and she was auctioning them off, and they're highly, let me grab this one, they're highly desirable, and they come with, like this one came with 130 pieces of authentic, antique and vintage Valentine ephemera, and it's just amazing. Well, MJ Bear purchased this, or won the auction on this, and then sent it to me, or asked Ariana to give it to me, and I cried because that kind of stuff just really, that someone thinks about you, right? It touched my heart so much. And then another lady gifted me little microscope slides, which is a project we'll do together. I have an idea
They're just plain little glass microscope slides, but I have this idea of painting on them and little bunnies and a carrot and little Easter things, and then making a little box, a little presentation box, and so you can display them. You know, an assemblage of these little glass microscope slides. I just thought that would be so stinking cute. So that is definitely a project. You know what? We will do that one on the next video. I feel bad I didn't do a craft with you all today, but it's okay, right? At least you can see I've been busy. I think that even sometimes looking at what other people are doing like this, it gives you inspiration and ideas. I mean, I don't know, but this is what we're doing today. I feel great today. Life is good. It's just good, It's just good. I'm going to get the house organized. It used to be I could get up in a day and do the whole house in a day, right? Or less than a day, like hours. No, it's a little bit of a slower process, but I'm still getting it done. Just doing it. Doing it. What we're doing. So I hope to see you Tuesday night on the Withering Cottage at 7:30 Eastern Time on the YouTube. And I will post a crafting video this week. I think we'll work on those little microscope slide things and let you see what I have in mind for it. I have such a good idea. See, that's what happens. We talk about it, it just goes boom. Oh my word, I have such a good idea for them. I'm so excited. I may even end up doing that today. But I think, no, I won't. What I need to do today is put my cards together, finish my journals, get this house organized, and we're going to go from there. I adore you guys. I just do. I just do. Thumbs up, subscribe if you feel like it. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It helps. Come watch us on Tuesday night at the Withering Cottage. And I think that we're all going to be on this really good road to adventure, and things are going to be okay. So, I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.